Navigating IRS tax audits without losing sleep. That's what I'm going to talk about. So who am I? I'm a former agent. I worked at IRS for 10 years. I know what I'm talking about. I've been in tax defense for 41, IRS for 10 years. So it's rare that you hear from an IRS agent really on this issue. So want to explain these things to you anyway. I've worked thousands of cases. I have a team of former agents, tax attorneys. We really know what we're doing. We're very skilled and very good at that. If you want to know more about me, just go to my website at 777irs.com. 777irs.com. So I want to tell you how to navigate a tax audit without losing sleep. First question when people call me, say, Michael, we want you to handle our case or our audit case. First question I ask is on a 1 to 10. How do you feel about your records? Based on that, sometimes I tell people you can represent yourself, you don't have a problem. And if they have a pit in the middle of their stomach, they need representation, and that we take on that case. Let me just tell you about one of the big misconceptions about the IRS audit. You don't have to have all your records. No, you can reconstruct records, make records easily by saying, hey, I'm going to give you an example in a minute. You have to give IRS support for what you've done. Here's a typical case. I had a painter. It was a couple years back. This happens all the time. He didn't have any records. He put them in the back of his truck, the van. All of a sudden, he didn't close the back doors. I don't know what his records were in the van for. That's the story he told me. Do I believe it? Well, he believed it. That's all I need to know. So you go into the IRS audit, no records. We had some checks from his bank. Problem is we had no receipt. So what do? Is you reconstruct records. What do you mean by that? Well, we simply said, hey, what 20 jobs did you have during the year? I says, okay, I want you to go ahead and tell me about the jobs. How many square foot? Did you paint the inside? Did you paint the outside? Let's go to the vendor. Let's find out how much paint, brushes, supplies you bought. You can reconstruct those records. So you don't have to have every single record for a tax audit. People lose sleep because they know IRS is going to do a deep dive into their stuff, and they will. And this is a plug for me, but I want you to understand why it's a plug. Being former agents, we know how to combat everything IRS is going to do because we know the system. Herb Cantor of our office worked at IRS 40 years. We know everything that IRS is going to do. They respect the fact that we're former IRS agents, so we can present the very best case to IRS with or without records. And there's just a way that you prepare the case, and then you start negotiating what you'll accept, what you won't. And if we don't like what that auditor says, we just go to appeals. Anyway, if you need me, go ahead, call me. I answer my own phone. How many people can say that? I do. Give me a subscription if you would. I've been doing this a long time, and I got a killer team. There's no such thing as the best, but I have a killer team. Thank you for listening. Appreciate the subscription.